show you guys some other rocks I got. About 5 years ago, me and my buddy Sean went to way down south central Texas, a place called Camp Live Oak. They have a lot of pay-to-dig sites in Texas, and they're big on private property rights down there. So basically we paid to stay in a cabin, and it was like $60 a night. Split that, and then you could dig all day long wherever you wanted to dig on the property for like $80. My buddy Sean did a little better than I did, but this was the better stuff that I found. This was one trip in March and one trip in October, and hand digging, no backhoe digging, screening everything. Probably, if this one would have had the tip, it would have been my best find from there. These are Frio points. The site was right on the Frio River in Real County, Texas. These are some crazy bases on these. Some people call them walking man points. This is the only perfect one I found. Pretty much undamaged. Sweet point. Don't have anything with a base like that in Missouri. Strictly a Texas type. And this is lang trees, another common type down there. This one's actually whole. Tips reworked into like a chisel tip after it was broke off. I got some pretty high quality flint down there. I like to call it high tensile. This was probably another of the most interesting finds. It's got a little bit of damage, but I'm pretty sure it's a plain view, and it was down deeper than most everything else at the site. Even though the deepest we dug was probably realistically maybe 5 feet, 4 to 5 feet. Pretty sure that's a paleo. One of the few I've found. I may be wrong. Sometimes I look at it, it kind of looks like a Clovis. And they got what they call the bucktooths down there. Little Montels. As far as Montels goes, this one's really crude and ugly. It's a honker. It's pretty cool. The West Missouri boys go down. It's a pretty long drive down there and find some material and types we don't find around here. Also came home with this big old box of stuff. Kind of at one time I was really bored. I sat down and started separating it out. I just wanted to have a lot of material from another part of the country, and since I was there digging it up anyway, like all these. Everything in this bag is fire popped. Got too close to the fire. In case you didn't know what fire popping is the chert and the flint has in it microscopic water bubbles from millions of years ago when it was formed that's trapped in there. And if it ever does get close to a fire and get heated that much, those little microscopic water bubbles will steam out and bust with a lot of force, and that's what blows out those funny little round pop-outs. That's what we call fire popped. Tends to change the color of the flint too when it gets that hot. These are some old bladelets. I saw Jason beveled blade had a whole bunch of nice ones, some really beautiful flint ridge ones in one of his latest videos. They're kind of cool. Long, narrow, super sharp. Some of these may be just flakes that they drove off during manufacture too. It's a little bit of that, what they call root beer looking flint. Sharp as a scalpel on some of the edges of this flint. unusual broken pieces of animal bone. Anytime they're busted up and split open and look like that, you pretty much know that they were animal bones that they were eating, because they always got the marrow out of them and broke the bones into a lot of pieces. Lots of crude tools, preforms. It's pretty nice as far as preforms go. Odd stones. Pieces that show exterior rind. Grinding, nutting stone. It's got the divot in it. This one's got a real nice little, small little divot in it. It's been put away so long it's dusty. Just some big pieces of raw material. Bunch of shell from around the fire pit. I imagine they made a lot of soup with these. Every one of them's got a little puncture hole in it where they got it out of there. Don't believe they were beads. I think that's just something they ate. There was a lot of them there. And just gobs and gobs of material. Some of these I'm sure are tools. Most of it's snapping debitage, percussion flakes. Like that one right there is a nice snub scraper. It's got a lot of cortex, or original rind, not cortex, on the outside. Typical uniface. Anyway, work pieces, broken points, knives. That's what you can come up with at the pay-to-dig places in Texas if you get down in the dirt for a few. If you're into that kind of thing, kind of makes for a nice getaway. The place didn't have any TV, no computer, no nothing. Strictly artifacts. Anyway, that's a bunch of Texas stuff found by the Missouri boy. We'll see y'all next time.